Episode 7.
Is it episode 7?
Episode 7? 6?
6.
No way.
I think
No, because we were halfway through last time.
Okay,
It was like a
episode
whole thing.
7.
If it's
Wow.
not, you can keep this
Edit
and not
out.
edit it, and I could be wrong.
so. I thought Scott and them were 5. So would that make us 6?
But then we've had someone.
We've had
since
somebody.
then.
We've had
Okay.
Tiffany
Yeah.
Murdoch and
cool.
Jesse
And
was
Jessie, yeah.
Then you're right. Well, episode
What'd
7.
you say, Raven?
I
What?
did.
What'd she say?
We're on
You
episode
gotta
7.
keep-
No, what was that other thing you said?
That we had Jesse here.
No, but this is very exciting. Yes, we've passed the half-point mark of our first season. We've had a really good run of it. I think we were starting to get the hang of this too.
Yeah.
So we have some really lovely ladies today for our guests. My guest today is one of our Mary C. partners, Kim Maurer.
Yes.
It's not spelled like that. It's like I always want to go Maurer.
Yes.
Maurer.
Everybody
But
does.
it's Maurer. Kim Maurer.
Yes.
She's an amazing new partner, and we're very excited to let her introduce herself. And then, Raven, you'll have your guest introduced,
Yeah.
and then we will get into it. So,
Well, I'm happy to be here. My name is Kimberly Maurer. I just joined Mary C. Partnership. I'm doing a Broadway dance class. My professional life, I do ultrasound at Sing River Gulfport. But my whole life, I've done dance and community theater, and it's what I'm passionate about. It's what I love to do. So I reached out to Sarah and asked if I could start doing a program here on the stage where we do like a workout class and then learn to dance to a Broadway song.
sweating on stage.
Sweating on the stage.
I love it.
It's brought some spice to the Mary C. That was much
It's
needed.
It's been so much fun. It was a little program I started at Biloxi Little Theater during COVID when all the theaters were shut down. And so we all like within our 10 group minimum got together with masks on and just sweat through our masks.
Oh, so that's where it came from? It's not even
Yes.
supposed to be spicy. It's
I
just
mean,
like
we are sweating on the stage
this literal
anyway.
feeling of sweating through
It's
your
a
mask.
whole different level when you're wearing a mask. But when theater started back
Serious.
up, there's always a set or something on stage and you can't actually do it on the stage, and we didn't have a space. And so the Mary C. made a space for us, and we started doing the class 6 weeks ago.
Well, we're excited to have
Awesome.
you guys.
So we're enjoying it.
Thanks, Kim.
Great. Kim, we're so happy to have you here. And my guest is Jara Miller, who is the executive director of the YMCA. So Jara, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and your role?
Yeah. So I've been down here on the coast for almost a year and a half. Loving it in Ocean
Good.
Springs.
Oh,
Loving it on the
welcome.
coast. Work for the Y. It's kind of my calling, I guess. I've been with the Y in Nashville and in Jackson in Mississippi, and it's been since the early 90s. So long time. I'm feeling really old at this table now.
No, it's amazing. You kind of have this Nashville accent to you a little bit.
Yeah.
How long were you there?
10 years or so. Grew up in Arkansas.
Okay.
Little town of Stuttgart. You only know that town if you are a rice farmer or a duck
We know
hunter.
someone who knows
Our
that town.
city clerk, Patty, is from Stuttgart.
Really?
I know.
I was about to say,
Isn't
do you
that
know,
weird? I was
do you
about
know
to say,
Patty Gaston?
wait till we
maybe.
tell Patty.
Yeah.
Y'all need to go out.
We do.
Yeah, she's a
Because,
hoot.
you know, most people, like I said, most people don't know Stuttgart unless you are a duck hunter. We have the World Duck Calling Contest.
Yes.
Sponsored by the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones has a big duck club that's down from where I grew up.
That is so interesting.
Yeah.
Just
I don't
I don't think I would have ever met somebody else from
I know.
Stuttgart.
I know. I feel like we need to get Patty a duck call for Christmas.
They're collector's items now, you know.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's so
Yeah,
funny.
Stuttgart's a little jealous of Duck Dynasty though, because they're like, really?
Oh my gosh,
You're not
seriously.
Stuttgart, so
You're
you really
not
shouldn't have all the claim to fame that Duck Dynasty does. But
Yeah.
So a year and a half here so far.
yes,
And Kim, you've been here your whole life almost.
Just about. My parents moved here when I was 2 and never left. So I've always been somewhere between Van Cleve and Biloxi.
And did you move your family here?
my husband and I, yes,
Okay.
our kids are grown. I've got a 27-year-old and an almost 26-year-old, and we're going to be celebrating our 30th anniversary Monday.
Congratulations!
Yeah.
That's
So
exciting.
That's amazing.
It
What are y'all
is.
going to do?
Seriously.
Not a darn thing.
I
mean,
don't
really.
even know all those details.
Dinner.
So I
got a
bet
swimming
your
pool to
kids,
play.
I bet your kids enjoy coming to see you now.
They do. In
That's
fact, we've
fun.
got family down from Illinois. The whole time we were in Jackson, I think they came down to visit maybe twice
They
in
don't
17
really love
years,
you.
and they've been
Yeah.
down here this is the third time since we've moved a year and a half ago.
You see, they're
So-
using you.
No.
You're the staycation.
Yes, indeed. Love the shrimp, love the seafood, all the
Well,
good stuff down here.
Good,
And did
good.
you eat seafood in Arkansas and in Nashville and or okay,
Yeah.
but it's not as good.
It's not as
It's
good.
not as fresh.
No, definitely. When you can go get it off the boat,
Right.
way different than 9 hours or so to Nashville.
So the YMCA is not new to you, but
No.
how's it been transitioning to the coast with your job?
It's been wonderful. This Y down here is kind of the hub, I think, where everybody comes to be a part of something. It's so great. The members are great. We have snowbirds that come in.
Yep. I love that.
It's just people from everywhere. And it's so great to see people coming together and building connections and just being themselves. However, you see some gym advertisements and everybody's this perky little 20-something-year-old. Well, we've
or
got
30
perky 20 or 30. Yeah.
30-something. That's right.
We've got that, and then we've got people who are in their 80s and 90s who are just as active
I
as they
know.
can be. And
I feel in that same sentiment here at the Mary C. People call this the creative hub of Ocean Springs, and then we have people of all ages here, and our volunteers or even just some of our guests, they're older, active. They've been to school here at the Mary C.
oh wow,
They're people I look up to because their energy, like Andy Calvert
Yes.
with the theater. Oh my God, he's 71 and he'd run laps around us. He's like Mick Jagger.
He's like,
Wow.
He truly is. In theater though.
in theater.
So, Jara, tell us a little bit about some of the programming that the Y does. The Y is more than just a gym. Sarah and I work out there sometimes.
We'll try.
We're trying to get a schedule.
If they'd
Sarah's
have
on me.
cocktails,
That would be great.
That would be great. So, tell us a little bit more about the programming and outreach that the Y does here in Ocean Springs.
We have a whole variety of programs going on. One new program that we started this year is our Diversability program. So it's children with special needs and adults with special needs. Swim lessons, we have a special swim team for them. We've got our Special Olympians that'll be competing. I think it's in end of June, 1st of July over at Keesler for the state competition.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
they've
we've
been
got that-
training, huh?
Yes.
Cool.
And it's so amazing. That's like the best heartwarming event that we have when they have their trials at the Y, because everybody is there cheering them on.
Yeah.
The athletes are cheering
Were you
each other
guys
on.
already equipped, or did you guys have to gear up to offer that?
We were already doing it before COVID, and we were able to
nice.
bring it back. Our aquatics director was deployed right before I started here, and so she just returned late last fall.
What a cool title, aquatics director.
Yeah, it's like the Baywatch vibe.
I dig it.
Love it.
And we even we work with Ship Island. So we provide the lifeguards for Ship Island. And
Oh,
that's kind of
that's
the
cool.
great selling point for the lifeguards.
Yes.
Because you have to be a lifeguard for 2 years before you can even attempt to go out to Ship Island. So that's
Okay.
kind of you can be Baywatch if you want. We call it Ship Island.
Well, that's a whole nother level of danger when you're
It
in the
is.
ocean and dealing with the waves and all that. It's very different than being in a pool. I can't imagine. Yeah, jeez.
Yeah, our insurance.
I was having a flashback in that moment when I was talking about that. I went to Guatemala for New Year's, and they were like, "Oh yeah, y'all enjoy the beach, whatever. Our waves are kind of large, so don't go too far out." I'm like standing. I'm standing in the water. I'm standing up, and the water is like a little above my knees. And then this wave comes in and just took me. It just took me. Took me out, way out, and they had to get a boat and come get me.
Oh my goodness.
And it all happened in like 10 seconds. And then I was like struggling because I was like, I've got it. I'm good. Like, I'm swimming. And then I kind of look around and I realize that wave has taken me so far out in such a fast time that, yeah, I don't.
Please come get me.
Oh, she's so wonderful and so scary at the same time.
And
So
you
yeah.
needed Baywatch then.
So they,
needed Baywatch.
yeah, there was like Baywatch boat, Baywatch tubes, Baywatch Guatemalan boys. It was a lot. I was like, oh, all this, I didn't mean to do this.
Oh man. Yeah, our insurance though, she came out to kind of do an assessment of everything, and we freaked her out because we have sharks, and you know. But then she really freaked out because they also said, "Oh, and you can't go over there because of the alligators." She's like,
And this is
"You're
Ship Island, right? Not
Yeah.
the YMCA.
This is Ship Island. Yeah. And she's like, y'all aren't safe anywhere here. I'm from California. I'm not used to things like this. And everybody's like, they're gators. It's sharks. We just, no big deal.
Just stay away from those.
Just take away.
So, do you guys ever connect with some of the different trips that go out to Horn Island? Does anyone ever ask y'all or to come
No.
keep them safe? They're just winging it. So
That's an idea, though.
WAMA and the OR, they do trips out to Horn Island,
Oh, cool.
and they camp for like multiple days out there and make art and build sculptures and then burn them and all kinds of things.
And burn them.
They'll build like sand kilns and do raku firings and things. I know through the OR, and then WAMA, they always take guest artists and do like watercolors, and they'll use like natural elements to like create pigments and things like that. It's actually very cool.
cool.
But if they're swimming, maybe they should team up with you guys and make sure
Maybe.
they're being safe.
Maybe. That would be fun just to kind of supervise that whole thing and be a part of it.
Yeah,
And
for
just be a
sure.
part of it, yeah. Just to hang out with the different types of people around here. It's amazing. So Kim, you've just joined. We have lots of different programming here. Yours has been popular right off the bat. I think that you definitely brought your audience in. You're kind of like you're like the prime partner. It's like what we're looking for. Someone who already has their structure, already knows what they're doing, already has their audience, and then we are just here to facilitate and make it better. Yeah. So have you been able, you work during the day, and you come here on your days off or after work and have your programs in the evening after the staff is gone. So they say that the Mary C has ghosts. They've never bothered me. They've always been very nice. So we've been doing a lot of different
Did you know that the Mary C has ghosts?
I've heard that every theater down here has ghosts.
we have a little light that we keep on. It's our ghost light, so you shouldn't be afraid or anything like that. They really, and I'm here at night all the time. So I guess what I'm trying to ask is that programming happens after hours a lot when the building shuts down. Have you felt good energy with your class being in the theater and the different things that we're doing here to kind of remodel, lighten up the building? Does it feel warm and comfortable
It
and not so
does.
dark and scary
No,
anymore?
it's very homey, except for when you first walk through the doors and there's just the light. It's very dark.
Yeah, the ghost
but,
light.
the ghost light. But I love the ghost light. It's my favorite. It's an empty theater.
And how
Nothing but creativity in there.
right? How are your students enjoying the space and feeling about the building?
They're loving it. I got a great variety because when I started the class, it was all people that I'd done theater with. That we do regular plays without the music and the dancing, but that is my bread and butter is the musicals.
Yeah.
And so I've done shows with many people all across the Gulf Coast. And dance is one of those, everyone has their thing. You feel like you're more of an actor or more of a singer or more of a dancer. I've always felt more of a dancer because I've done it my entire life. But dance is something that scares people because they feel like it has to be perfect. And in some shows, it has to be perfect. I've done chorus line. Has to be perfect.
Right.
But there are so many shows where if you're feeling it and you're just having a good time, that's what the audience sees. That's what they love. And so when I started the class, it was all theater people, some that love dance, some that just wished they could. And so, just that energy just brings something. So when I started the class here and it opened it up to extra people, I got my theater people, but I also got a few people that just always wanted to take a dance class or just thought it looked fun. And so just that energy that gets brought into a space,
And what I love about your program,
it's so fun.
your class, it is not to to have a recital at the end
No.
or be a dancer. It's really just about having fun, especially if you enjoy Broadway music.
And even the people that are like, I'm a pretty avid Broadway person, but people that aren't, that just know some of the stuff, they come in and they learn a dance and they're like, oh my gosh, that was so fun. Then they go home and they look up that soundtrack and they're like, oh, there are actually so many songs in this show that I like. And so like
Yeah.
it's opening to new types of songs and new shows.
I love that.
We should do this class.
I know.
I'm really excited about
No,
it.
and
Come
seriously,
on.
there's a couple of people at City Hall who've called me about it.
We should just make a thing.
It's been surprising who's called me about it. I'm like, that you want to do that? Okay.
I've had all
Okay.
ranges too. My mom took the class and my mom did it this go round, but I also have I started at 18 just because when I did it for COVID, we didn't want younger because we were all trying to be safe and
Yeah.
Right.
all that. So I started
kids are
18.
dirty.
Kids are dirty.
Kids are dirty. My kid is dirty.
You probably
Jeremy
know a thing
kids.
about that.
Yes.
Clean in a YMCA pool.
Yes.
But I do. I have members all the way up to almost 70, and
I
so
love that so
it's you come, you do what you can, and you fake through what you can't,
Exactly.
and
So we have this Senior World pageant that comes here every year, and these women, they're like, there's like a 50s, 60s, 70s, and plus age groups.
I want to be a plus one day. That sounds fun.
You will be. I feel you will be. But like when you were saying like you have like 70-year-olds in your class, I
These
don't
women.
see older women. I see these ladies that have literally been on stage for this pageant.
Mhm.
Working it across the stage in heels, in their glittery dresses, and I'm like, you can't tell they're 70.
They never stopped.
They're in better shape than me.
Yeah.
You know, they don't
They're more
stop.
coordinated than me.
And they're not even breathing heavy at the end of their dance. I'm impressed. But anyways,
So, Jared, you've been here a year and a half. So do you live in Ocean Springs?
No.
Ooh.
I live in Van Cleve.
That's
Well,
I got
that-
10 acres.
yeah.
I said it was okay.
yeah, I'm a country girl. I like the country.
You know, when we moved down, we wanted some land.
Mhm.
We have 2 dogs. We were thinking we were going to do the homestead thing, have some chickens and some pigs. Chickens are okay in Ocean Springs.
Yeah.
Pigs are frowned upon.
Yeah.
So that was something that kind of kept us from looking at Ocean Springs. So we found this place out in Van Cleve, the country of Van Cleve. We're like 10 miles north of Van Cleve proper. So we're way out there. Beautiful sunrises, little pond, cleared area, little rolling hills and everything. Love it.
That's so
But
beautiful.
while we were waiting to close on our house, we were in Ocean Springs at an extended stay place for almost a month. And my husband, the whole time, he's like, "You didn't tell me Ocean Springs was so cool. You think we can get out of our house contract?" And I'm going, "We need a big garage for the boat, and we need a big yard for the dogs, and you don't want to live in a floodplain."
And you guys can always like stay at the Roost or something over a weekend and
Yeah.
enjoy. It's only 10 miles down the road.
It
you know?
is.
People do that. I have several friends who like they take their anniversaries. They live in Ocean Springs, but they take them at the Roost and they just live it up
Ooh.
for the weekend.
That's a way to do it.
Monday.
Monday.
Roost.
Yep. I know. I hated that it's on Monday though, because almost all the restaurants are closed
That is
on
a-
Monday.
That
So
is a thing.
maybe we'll do an early Sunday or Saturday. Who knows?
That would be fun.
Yeah.
So tell me kind of, you've been here a year and a half. You don't live in Ocean Springs. I'm not
I
judging
know.
because I don't live in Ocean Springs
Boo.
either.
Just kidding.
I know.
What elements about our city, our town, you love? Like what would you know, your family comes down, what would you sell them to go do while you're at work?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Oh, that is a good question.
You're welcome. I
You
just
know,
made it up.
especially since I'm going to be at work, that's going to be
She
kind of
thought
a
about
loaded question. Do I want them to have that much fun while I'm at
Right.
work?
That's true.
No, look, show the town off, but then just show your butt the whole time. Get drunk, yell a lot, then they won't come back.
Then they won't
That's
go.
true.
Or to come stay with you, then get their
Yeah.
own place, and y'all can have lunch.
That's true.
There you
You know, I would say the beaches are beautiful. Downtown Ocean Springs, the big live oaks,
Mm-hmm.
the shops. I mean, it's just so quaint. I
Quaint.
tell everybody that if Mayberry and Key West had a baby,
Oh, yeah.
it would be Ocean Springs. It's that small town feel. Everybody knows each other. It's just a great place to be, but it's just got enough flavor to keep it
Yes.
interesting with that Key West appeal.
Yeah.
So,
Have you guys ever been to Seaside, Florida? Have you ever been?
no, I haven't.
No one?
Should we go?
I've just seen pictures.
Well, it's like that, probably that Mayberry style. It's like just so picture perfect seaside. Like everyone's wearing blues and whites and polos, and like the children are playing in the yard without anyone worrying about stealing them, and like things like that. And like the town is centered, like the way like their downtown, it's kind of in an arch with like
Oh,
a
cool.
circular grass area that movies and things can play, so the kids can kind of be there and all the adults can be like shopping or at restaurants or at bars and just staring at their kids. So it's like set up for families, you know.
Right.
But that flavor that we have, that we gotta keep it tame, so we keep our traditional Ocean Springs vibes, but at the same time that flavor that we have, like I feel like that's what like we want to be like seaside in a way, but then we also don't want to lose our flavor. So it's that happy balance that we
Yes.
have. And I think it comes with all of like the live music and the investments from the businesses to just create that environment. Each business has such a personality here, and they're going to show it,
Exactly,
like
yeah.
whether it's through their spaces that they're decorating or just the environment, the vibe that they're creating for their area. That's what's so great. Like we have a ton of flavor here.
Yeah, and I think that's why businesses love to invest here, is because they can show their flavor here. I mean, in a respectable manner,
Yes,
because we
yes.
have traditional. I mean, we still want to keep our charm and attract people to
The
be
quaintness.
here. The quaintness.
Yeah.
But we know that we thrive on eclecticness. Is that a word?
And having a good time.
It is true.
It is
Yes.
eclecticness.
I like that one.
I don't know how to spell it, but good answer. But I think that's why, business owners love to invest here and into our downtown and, actually expand because we have that flavor. Just a little salt and garlic seasoning.
You brought some flavor to the Mary C with your class. You've brought your Biloxi audience over here. You're gaining a little bit of the Ocean Springs audience. How do you feel that transition is going to go? You've just booked your second class. We just immediately put it back
have.
up there yesterday. So how do you feel like that's going to go? You think you'll end up with more classes?
Maybe. I've been trying to figure out my balance with work and with everything, and I haven't currently been doing any shows or anything. I'm normally involved in stuff. I did a big project last year and was like, I need to take a break.
I know that,
So I try to keep open so that if I decide to do something, I have time. But I would like to look at doing maybe another day or a different time in the future, maybe not right away. But like this weekend, my husband's starting a show at Biloxi Little Theater, and so I'm taking a week before jumping into the next 6 weeks so that I can be there. He's doing directing Women Playing Hamlet.
Ooh.
So yeah, 10 women. They're amazing, performing at Biloxi Little Theater this weekend and next. Little plug. But so I like to keep my options open for me to do my own creative thing, but also bring it to others because I love it. It's my favorite.
I love how calm you are.
I feel so on edge right now.
Do
Really?
you really? There's a wasp.
You're
in there.
hiding it well.
That's why, because there's a wasp around me.
Uh-oh.
Ariel?
Ariel's going to throw a candle at it.
And it just goes straight through the window.
Oh, you're going to close it in that. I thought you were going to throw that at him. I was like, please
Jesse
don't.
and Ariel, do not edit this part out.
All of us afraid of the
She got
historic
it.
building. Did she
Ariel,
catch
you
it?
got it.
You're our hero.
She's like, I'm going to save it. I'm going to take it
I'm gonna save
outside."
you.
Thank you.
Okay, you be
You're
careful.
our hero.
There goes the plant.
That's okay.
It's fake. It's okay.
So, we have all these exciting things that happen. And we talk a lot about balance and how do you keep balance in your life. Tell us how, you're stressed out. How do you get unstressed? What do you do?
You sweat on stage, don't you?
You sweat on stage. I take a nap.
You're the
Yes.
second guest that has told us that, and I love it.
I'm a fairly low stress person. I very much believe don't worry about something until you have to.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone in my life is not that way. And so I think I just make them mad.
You make them worry more because you're
yeah.
not worried.
Yeah. Well, and I think that like if you're with other people that stress, you can't stress because then it's just a disaster.
Gotta be a
Yeah.
balance there.
It's just a disaster. And so I very much stay real chill until like there is no choice
But to stress.
but to stress, and then everyone's scared.
They're like, oh no.
This is bad.
So when that moment happens, what happens? Do you lock up and shut down, or do you lead?
I try very much to find a solution to problems, which is another issue. Sometimes people don't want solutions to the problems, they just want to vent.
For sure.
And so I'm very much, are you venting or are we fixing?
Yes.
I've had to ask that question.
You
lately.
have
Yeah.
to, because sometimes, and I'm that way too, sometimes you just want to vent and let them be like, yeah, that's the worst.
And you're like,
Yes, it is. And sometimes you want to fix it. And I'm more of a fix it type of person. But I'm also, if I get upset or angry or anything, I am prone to like tears. It doesn't happen often.
Yeah.
Very few people could say they've seen me cry, but I am a person that will lock themselves in a room until that's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, just get it out.
Because sometimes you just have to cry it out, and it doesn't happen often, but no one will see it.
But no.
Yeah, it's a personal thing.
No one
I
will
feel
see it.
you.
What about you? What do you do to unstress?
Oh, I sit in a rocking chair on my back porch and just watch the pond and any critters that happen to scamper across.
I mean, I think we're just going to have to go to Jared's house.
I know.
You
Have
are.
you
Can
had
you,
your
like, a field
housewarming party?
I have not.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Let's
Come
schedule
on
it.
out.
I have an idea.
Let's do it.
I think that would be amazing.
I know.
We
That
should,
sounds
and
great.
you know, Raven does events,
I
and
am an event planner.
and
Hey.
now I do events with this job, so we can help you as your friend if we get an invite.
Sure.
obviously.
Just come on out.
All right,
Save me a rocking chair.
Yeah,
Ooh, that sounds amazing.
that
Yep,
does sound
nice and quiet.
Nice and quiet.
So, what animals do you have so far?
We've got 2 dogs, and I've got 5 hens that lay eggs, farm fresh eggs. So, and then I've got 7, no, better make that 14 chicks that we got 6 weeks ago.
That's
Started
a
out
lot
with-
of responsibility for
It
your
is.
job.
It is. But it's fun, and a little garden that is
Yeah.
actually stuff is actually growing this year. Last year it was
Yeah.
a total bust.
I think there is something to having something to come home to,
Mm-hmm.
and to separate. Because to do your job well, you have to love yourself. To love yourself, you have to surround yourself with things that feed you.
Yes.
So these are the things that feed you, right?
Yes.
I love that. I love that. What feeds you, Kim?
Theater. It does. It's my happy place. It's something I've done my whole life, something that just fills me with joy. It's how I met my husband. That's where my lifelong friends are. I have so many friends that have grown up, left the South, come back home, and we're a core little group of people.
Raven's a theater person. I was never a theater person. I was like in all the clubs and in band and in art, that world, but
It's still art.
with it is art. It is absolutely art. And with this job, I've had to work very directly and almost kind of be a part of to make sure that the schedule came out right or folks are acting right, because casts can be literally like the last play we had 9-year-olds to 78-year-olds, so it was kind of, and our director was 18, so I was like, let me just step in every once in a while and make sure things are going okay. And then Raven and I have also started producing the cemetery tour for Ocean Springs, and so that's getting a cast together for those characters and getting scripts written from writers. I mean, it's like the whole process. So we've had, some of our experiences, and then of course working directly with theater groups and theater people, the haunted house, all the theater kids from the high school, they help with the haunted house. So I've just had all these different experiences, and what I've really learned and grown to respect is the work ethic that you guys have. And I can understand having a passion for what you do as an artist, as a designer, and as a coordinator here. So with that said, what do you think, that you're teaching your kids, your class? Like, what do you think is the evolution here from this class you're starting to where you think it could evolve?
I don't know. As far as like dance and theater goes, it's a labor of love.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge time commitment for no pay. It's you're doing it because it makes you happy and you love it.
And that's the thing. Like, I love that, but as the person that I am, I'm always trying to create opportunity for artists.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something I haven't quite understood getting into the theater world. Nobody's paid. And I'm not going to change that necessarily. Maybe I don't need to be that person. But like, how does the investment stay?
So it's nice to get paid. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. It would be wonderful. Absolutely. And one day, yes, it would be great to be able to do a show and everybody get paid and, you know, be semi-professional. But I don't know, like
How does that change?
I think
There's-
it's the
yeah.
aspect of the community theater.
Mhm.
You know, those community actors are doing it for a community because they love it. It's a passion. So they want to do it regardless
Yes.
of being paid. They want to go out there and sweat on the stage. They want to act. They want, because it becomes an outlet for them,
It
you know,
fills that
It's
void.
versus,
It's
you know, their
therapy.
everyday job,
Yeah.
to get out there and express themselves. So they are being paid in their experience. It doesn't have to be monetary.
It is not just acting though. It's not just getting up there and like
Right.
letting it out. I mean, they are building props. They are
Yeah.
coming to rehearsals.
Mhm.
They are making their costumes. Everyone's got their own job, whether it's tech or makeup or sets or whatever. I
But
mean,
that's their passion. So
it is mind blowing
you know,
to
you
see
have
what goes
people,
into it. It
you
really
know,
is.
growing up in theater, I not necessarily wanted to be on the stage all the time. I wanted to be backstage. That was my passion. I wanted to be the stage manager, or I wanted to be in tech. I wanted to be running sound. Like, I could do that today and it would fulfill me. I don't necessarily need cash money to do it. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
And I've done projects where the directors and choreographer get paid, where the set builders are paid, and so like it's a slow process. And sometimes casts are just too big, unfortunately, to like pay the cast members.
Right.
But there are groups that try their best to accommodate when they can,
Yeah.
and to make it worth it for.
Especially for
For
someone
people,
who's
but-
like maybe making costumes, like steady making the costumes the entire time up until the show. Yeah, it's pretty incredible to watch you guys. Our partnerships here, we try and make it very fair. So we're maintaining as a building, but then our partners, the work that they put into it, we want to make sure that they get that money back for them. And I think that's at least what we can do here is pay the director, and the director, you know, almost always, which is why I just really respect you guys, takes that money and turns it right into the next production, you know? So it's paying a passion. And I see that. It's just an awful lot of work. And like,
It is.
and I'm like so appreciative of the activity here, and I definitely want our community to come out and see some of the plays that we've got coming up, and through this partnership with you, it's allowed me to kind of connect with other theater groups, which is a little intimidating for me because there's rules to everything, and you don't ever want to overstep or like try and change something. Like, everyone in theater should be paid. You know, they work so hard. And then everyone's like, no, Sarah, that's community theater. They're like, shut up. You know?
One day.
You know, but I'm just really appreciative of the connection to like Biloxi Little Theater. I'm super excited to see like what comes of that. We're all supposed to be connecting and seeing if some of their Biloxi audience wants to turn into a Ocean Springs audience. And so, you know, that conversation is starting, and maybe some of their shows will come over here, and that's just been a really great connection.
What community theater
I
is
know.
bringing communities together.
And I was really proud that, like, I think that the original play that we put on here with Devin Carter, an 18-year-old director, his own content and everything, it was really great. Just recently, Welcome to Wonderland. I think it caught their attention, and like Biloxi Little Theater's attention, and it's just been, I think, a good like way to go about connecting with other theater groups, not really having that background, and I'm grateful for the people that I have around me with the theater background, so I can make sure I'm not overstuffed.
You just ask
Pull it
the
on back,
questions.
Sarah.
That's all it is.
I know. I'm like,
to me.
oh, okay, it doesn't work that way. Got it.
So speaking of, partnerships, that is really how you, grow a community is, partner with the Mary C, or we partner with the Chamber. Jared, tell us a little bit about the partnerships the YMCA has with other organizations in the community, and like how you want to see that grow, and is there projects that you see in the future that you would love to do? Go.
And how can we do something together?
I know. We need to get together because I'm thinking all the programs we do with families, with children, with adults. What a great tie-in. The haunted house. I know last year we had our trunk or treat the same night as the haunted house, and we bought out CVS and Walgreens and Winn-Dixie, and I think even Walmart. We just had to keep going back to get more candy. But we would
Don't
send
let
people.
them do that to you. We're like, one piece, little boy. They'll be like shoving it out of the buckets.
We were kind of doing a good job. We had adults handing out the
Okay, good.
candy. So the kids were well behaved. There were just so many of them. And we were sending them with a long line being like, hey, go down there for a little bit and come back when the line gets lower.
Yeah.
Right?
You know, it was a great
And then
opportunity.
we had our line with the haunted house. My God. So I had to literally take this group of Mayor's Youth Council members and create a job for them where I got them all blow up outfits for Spooky Springs, and they were the ones who had to go and give out the candy. And I was like, you disperse about 3 pieces at a time. Don't let them go into the buckets. So it's like, just to get that process, I had to like have these like hype characters is what we called them. So you have like Tasmanian Devil and Porky Pig and Garfield and the blow up balloon man. Oh, it was so funny. It was so funny.
So what kind of partnerships do you want to see in the future to grow the mission of the Y?
You know, really just any organization that has a spirit of service. That is part of what the Y does. We're partnering with Backpack Buddies. Last year was the first year we were able to do summer backpack feeding, and that was through the partnership with Backpack Buddies. They shut down for the summer, and I'm going, hey, we have this big facility. We have members that come in. Why don't we just join with you all to keep children fed over the summer?
Yeah.
And so we're continuing that again. The work that we do with, children with special needs and family with special needs, trying to expand that. My goal for the Y is for it to be a place for all ages, life stages, and abilities.
Oh, I like that.
Because it's where you can be a part of something bigger. Like you said, we're more than a gym, and most people think, oh, you got the wellness floor, you've got group X classes, you've got the pool.
Right.
Yeah, that's a lot of what we do, but we also serve children in two of the counties. We've got 4 child care sites. We've got a preschool program. We've got a Parkinson's program for individuals that are dealing with that and their families. We've got staff right now out today that are working with cancer survivors, helping them kind of regroup and rebuild and re-strengthen themselves, not only physically but also mentally after combating that sort of diagnosis and going through all the treatments.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
so,
amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you schedule all that?
Lots and lots of people working together.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
And I'm Sarah and I are very thankful with the city's partnership with the Y and our membership.
Yes, we are. We try not to break the equipment, but sometimes we don't know what buttons do, and it makes a big slam, and
I will
everyone
say
looks at
you
us.
have great staff at the Y, because there was one day we were in there on this piece of equipment, and she was working with somebody else. It was an older gentleman, and we must have looked like we didn't know a thing. She came over here and said,
didn't.
"What are y'all trying to do?
Oh, no.
Let me help
Get
you."
the thing in the thing.
We're like, "Thank you."
Well, you were in a video.
Angel. Just kidding.
Exactly.
So-
And Raven, before she comes up, she's going, "Sarah, stop making all that noise. And I'm like, I didn't know it was gonna slam.
Okay. Well, we got new equipment that came in,
Uh-huh.
and on the side of the equipment, it has a QR code that you can scan, and it shows you videos on how to use the
Ooh,
equipment.
nice.
Does it go to TikTok? Because that's what we do. We go to TikTok, get videos, and it shows us how to work out.
I think it's YouTube that it goes to, but
But that's a cool little feature.
I
It is.
noticed when you walk into the YMCA, there's a table and it's got like snorkeling gear and stuff for kids. And I didn't know exactly what y'all were doing, or if like you're just teaching them to free dive, if you're trying to like help some kids who can't afford it. And I don't know what you're doing, but if like if you're
I don't know
connecting,
what it is.
but my point is, if you're connecting it all with the diving classes in
Yeah.
D'Iberville and teaching them to dive at the YMCA, I want to join that kids class.
we do have a diving group that comes in, so you can get your certification for diving. And then for the younger children, or even adults too, we have a pool corp grant that we were awarded last July. So it's enabling us to teach 1,000 free swim lessons across the coast
Yeah, I'm trying to get Benjamin signed up.
That's wonderful.
and 100 lifeguard certification. So if you've got that 15, 16, 18-year-old who wants a summer job, you know, the Y is the place for them to come. We can get them certified for free. Lifeguards are in high demand.
You can't use that phrase. You can't use the Y is the place to be.
She
Okay,
can.
You can't
If
use
it's in
that.
the
That's
Ocean
Raven's.
Springs.
That's Raven's phrase for Ocean Springs. No, I'm kidding.
Why
I'm
is it
kidding.
in Ocean Springs?
Well, we're in Ocean Springs, so technically,
It's okay.
according to Raven, the Y is
Until I
also
get a
the place to
trademark.
be.
Right? Exactly.
Well, that's exciting. Yeah. The free swim classes. I look every time I think about it because I'm signed up for the Wise emails. Are you?
Yes, probably.
But no. I go to look to Benjamin is 4, and it's very important. Like I grew up learning how to swim. My aunt was very adamant that me and my cousin, we're on the coast, learn how to swim.
Good.
But unfortunately, Benjamin's dad does not know how to swim. And so if we
can
ever
take
go
class.
out, I am the person that's going to save everyone.
Oh, no.
And
He can learn how
everyone
to swim
means
at
me
the
and my
Y.
child. I'm just kidding. But it's important to me that he learns at least water safety. And, I've seen videos. I was one of those crazy moms, when I was pregnant, I was watching all these videos. And I was like, we've got to get him in the pool at 6 months so he can learn how to float and
Open his eyes underwater.
and backstroke. No. But life got in the way. And so I'm very, so I'm gonna sign him up. I just got to figure out my schedule, but to bring him over here to learn. And I think that's very exciting.
Bring your husband too.
Yes.
That's a good idea.
We have had an 87-year-old learn how to swim.
What?
Oh, really? That is cool.
I love to hear when older people are
Older.
still wanting to learn.
Yeah.
I love
She
that.
wanted to learn how to swim so that she could take her grandchildren and great-grandchildren
Oh,
out
Yeah.
and be involved with them instead of just sitting on the side.
Yeah,
That's
it's
great.
just mainly not be afraid of the water.
That,
Yeah,
that's a
Because
big
some
thing.
accident happens to Benjamin, the one thing you just want him to know what to do to
Mhm.
get his head out of the water.
Mhm.
We have a great partnership with the city and with the school district. We do third grade swim,
Yeah.
where every third grader in Ocean Springs gets to learn how to swim
I love
at
that.
the Y. It's part of their PE class
I
in the
love-
fall
I
and the
remember
spring.
going to the Y in elementary school and doing swim classes.
I'm jealous. We did
It
not
was my
have
favorite time.
I know.
such a therapy too. Such
Mhm.
a body release mentally and physically.
Yeah.
Love it. Guys, we're almost out of time. I
Wow.
can't even believe it. It's been
We
such a
could keep
good-
going.
Hey, look, your
I
whole
know.
attitude
I
has
know.
changed.
Now I'm relaxed.
She's like, I could host this thing. Raven
Move
and I are
over.
like, are we asking the same questions? We need like a fun bowl with questions, like new questions. So we're gonna make that for next time. But is there anything that you guys would like to leave the city of Ocean Springs, the community of Ocean Springs, with a little message from yourself, or just any little thing? That might be a lot.
That sounds
That
like a
might
lot
be
of
a lot.
pressure.
I know. No pressure at all.
Be good to each other.
I like
Yeah.
that. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There was a moment when I first got this job. I was like, oh my God, we have a marquee. We could put quotes on that marquee. We could just inspire the whole community. And everyone's like, yeah. You just need to calm down.
Open. 9 to 4.
I appreciate being reminded, to be good to yourself, be good to people. I like that.
That's great.
Treat yourself.
Thanks, Kim.
Yeah. Be kind.
kind.
It's always good.
I love it. That's what I tell Benjamin every morning. Now, Benjamin is 4 and he has a temper. I'm just kidding. Those kids,
wonder where he gets it from.
Those kids at preschool. whew. But I do, every morning it's, be kind. Not everything goes your way. Just be kind, So I
Take a
love
breath.
that.
Show
Oh,
grace.
we took some deep breaths this morning when we got out the house.
Oh, no.
But I love it.
Well, guys, thank you so much for being here today. We look forward to all that you're going to bring to the city and to our community. We thank you for your good personalities and your good vibes. And I look forward to potentially collaborating with you
Yes.
and continuing with you. All right, guys.
This is exciting. Thanks for having us.
Of course.
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely. Well, this was episode 7 of City Culture. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Raven.
Thank you. Bye, guys.